Hello and welcome to a new episode of the DLP Report Podcast. We're back after I don't know how long it's been.
What season is it? What episode is it?
It is season 2. I do not know the episode number, but it will be
Didn't
on
season
the description.
2 start like last October?
Stop crashing my intro already. It's been 10 seconds. It is our first episode of the year, and I am back with Elliot from Elliot.
Hey.
Hi, you can talk now. And Jeff from DLP Town Square.
Hello.
And the rest of the gang was, we were in lockdown, but they were somehow tied up tonight. So it's going to be the three of us. It'll be intimate, but maybe it will also be, and that was not shade. Maybe it'll also be a good way to have a more quiet podcast, because some people have been telling me that we're too many and we all talk on each other. So maybe it will be.
Yeah, but that was the live episodes when it was like 12 people.
Oh yeah, we had some very long episode. Before we start tonight, I wanted to say a word about our friend Louis. Louis, you may not know him in person or even know much about him. He's part of the DLP Report team, and as you may have seen on Twitter, he suddenly left us at the end of last week. It all came as a surprise to all of us. He was such a healthy, happy guy, and seemed to be doing very well. He had a great business, and he was always such a joy to have around. And he's done so many great things for DLP Report, from night photos, aerial photos, and just being a great friend. And we always met up when I was in the parks, and he was always there for all of us, always coming up with ideas, and also being the voice of reason also in the community. He was a big contributor to the DCP forum and I think other pages, and basically he was just friends with everyone and loved by everyone. So it's been really tough on all of us, and just wanted to say that we will really miss him, and we won't forget him. So there you go. But DLP Report will continue, of course, but he'll always be in our minds and in our heart when we do so many things that we do in the park, so many coverage, and we always think of him. So there you go. That was that. So on to the news. Moment. Yeah. On to the news. It is Monday, January. I don't even know, because
18th?
Days, nights, weeks, weekends, it's all the same these days. Monday, January 18, when we record this, and we have just learned that Disneyland Paris Shock will not reopen on February 13. But
due to the prevailing conditions in Europe.
What does that mean?
I don't really know.
Okay, thank you.
I saw American websites pick that up. It was like, you could it too, guys.
No, but I don't understand what prevailing means. Like the conditions are.
I think it's outside of Disneyland Paris's control.
I think they were just saying, look, guys, it's still bad, but it was a weird way of saying it.
I don't understand.
The ongoing.
I haven't even read the French release. Maybe it would make sense. I don't know.
Yeah. Usually when you get some weird words in English from Disneyland Paris, it's because they've worked from the French one and then try to make it English. It's like every time they say on the occasion, I'm like, no one says on the occasion.
It basically says in French, like, taking into account the sanitary situation in Europe. Like, that makes sense.
Right, so it's just English. Okay.
Unfortunately, the destination will remain closed.
Okay, and so April 2nd is the next target. I hope everyone has moved their trains and their hotels and their reservations.
Oh yeah, judging by Twitter earlier today, people have sorted out their reservations.
People have gotten their park reservations, and I've personally moved my February to April, but it is 2020, 2021. Do we even expect anything to actually happen anymore? I feel like I'm a booking agent. You book all those things, but you never go. It's like
yeah.
So
yeah,
we'll see. I really hope for them that they do.
And not just that, of course, because you've got all the little hotels in Val d'Europe that kind of need the money as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And like, how many people from the UK also are going to be able to go, and who's going to be willing to brave whatever measure is in place, if we can even go? Are you going to...
Well, at the moment, it's a 7-day mandatory quarantine with a negative test on arrival. Oh, yeah, and you have to be an EU or French national.
Right. But I mean, if that's the case, if we're allowed to travel, I guess not everyone is going to be willing to do that. I've done it when I went to France for Christmas, before the lockdown. I mean, I've already done it twice since the beginning of the pandemic. It's fine. Well, 3 times, actually. It's fine, but I mean, it's not really fun, but it's kind of worth.
I haven't left the country since July.
But there's the rumor, isn't there, at the quarantine hotels as well, that could be interesting.
Right, okay. If there's a quarantine hotel, I am out. Sorry.
Yeah.
I love Disney, but
you see the people on Instagram from New Zealand, Australia, and it's like putting them, brave people.
Yeah, no. I mean, if you have an emergency and whatever, and you have to do that, fine. But I don't think for a weekend in DLP, I would stay in a hotel for 2 weeks in London, just like stuck in my room.
I feel like you'd need like a decent length trip, right? So you need to be there maybe 2 weeks minimum to actually make that 2 week in a hotel worth it.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to stay there like at a long-term Airbnb and just work from there for a month or something, I mean, that could be an idea. Or if you have a place there. But it's going to be, I think it's going to be tight for the UK. Elliot, you were saying earlier that the law, I mean, it doesn't mean that the lockdown's going to last till then, but the law for the lockdown
expires on the 31st of March.
Right, so that is...
But they could always renew it,
Of course.
But I feel like subtly that sort of suggests their goal for when they would like to, if possible, be starting to lift, like, get out of like a national lockdown.
Right.
Yeah, but I think it's the travel restrictions, isn't it, more than the lockdown that's going to kill it. So, because you can't realistically see people going if they have to spend 2 weeks either at home or in a quarantine hotel. It's just not going to happen, right?
I mean, at home, like in my case, I don't have children and I work from home, so I might consider it. But if I have to pay for a hotel for 2 weeks, like that's just not.
But it's also at the moment it's the quarantine when you're going into France.
Right, and there's that too. So
and you have to pay for a non-NHS negative test to get into France.
And coming out as well, so
yeah,
that makes going really complicated.
It is complicated. All right.
So well, where are you going to take your test in DLP, right? I mean,
there's one in
you'll find somewhere. But...
I'm sure Val d'Europe has some things, but I mean that's gonna take a bit of the magic out of the. Sorry,
I'm just gonna quickly hop down on the RER, take my test. I'll be back in time for my fast pass, though. Don't worry.
I have to go get my brain poked by a stick, and then I'll be right back on Main Street for the magic.
But honestly, I just feel like the French government need to hire the sloths from Zootopia because they would be able to do the vaccine rollout faster than France is currently going.
I know, right? Yeah, France is really in a weird situation where, I mean, I was raised in France, and everyone, my whole family, the French people are so proud of their health system, and I was just expecting France to just champion that thing and just be like, yeah, it's been a week, we got 1 million, but no, I don't know.
Here it's weird because here it's like, oh guys, we did well today, we got like 350,000 people done, and France is like, yeah, we did 20 today, that's pretty good for us.
I mean, they had like a whole lot of like red tape, paperwork, whatever that, but it's insane. I feel like as much as we criticize the UK government and all the governments, to be honest,
all day, every day,
I feel like in the UK, I started hearing about preparation for vaccination. Like, I don't know, like in September.
Oh, earlier they were ordering them.
People have like people in the government and the NHS were already planning like where, how, when, how many, like months and months ago. Whether in France, they were just kind of like, we just got the vaccine in the mail, so we should probably think about how we're going to do this.
Let's set up a free phone number. That will do it.
Yeah. Well, my dad, who's eligible for a vaccine in France, had to call, and he got put on a list. And then when he called again, he was told like they couldn't find him. So, but then they couldn't re-register him because it was full. So he had to like wait and like re-register. I don't know.
In the UK, you just go on nhs.co.uk and book yourself an appointment as if you were like booking a restaurant.
I know. Yeah. Well, yeah. Even at DLP, you can book restaurants. Now, I was going to say not like a DLP, but that shade is not applicable anymore.
But no one's done it for like 6 months.
Exactly. I wonder if it's still up. They're gonna
somebody one day will be like, "Oh, did we remember to flick the switch?" Oh,
does anyone have the login code for the standby pass?
I feel like though, with the amount of stuff we got that we saw added to the app in the last 6 months before closure, like during that 6 month, 4 months they're open, I feel like, are we going to go back and like have some surprise with all this functionality? Or
well, standby pass is definitely going to come back, because before the closure they removed it for a while and we were like, yeah, victory, and then they put it back with even more attraction. So I guess I
remember that was weird.
I just think it wasn't enough. Like Crush, like it was an inconvenience to do it just for Crush, but if you had to do it for lots of attractions, then the guests would learn how to use it. I think that was the methodology behind it.
Well, it has to be like a whole system.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
because it's true, having to do it just for a couple of attractions just makes it kind of weird, because you don't really think about it and it's just for that. And also you can't choose the time that you come back. You just click and it tells you when to come back. And I'm like, well, I don't mind booking, but can I please have at least a choice of a couple options? But then it becomes FastPass, right? So then that's the whole thing. So then is FastPass becoming virtual at Disneyland Paris?
Maybe you could have like a paid option where you do select your time slot.
Right, like the Max Pass in Disneyland Resort.
Yeah, but you can't pick your time slot there. You still get you get told when to come.
No, you get the next available.
Yeah.
So it's like Max Pass is just.
It's my Disney experience. My Disney experience. You have to pick a slot.
Are you sure? I feel like I chose times on Max Pass. No, or maybe I get confused with Disney World.
Yeah.
However, like with Max Pass, it's like so good. Most of the stuff is in 20 minutes anyway. So by the time you've walked there, scanned in, you're picking your next one on the app. So
right. Oh, you're right. Oh, you're right. That is what it is.
You know before you press the button when you're going to be coming back. It's not like
right.
You press
and
it,
I think
it goes surprise.
Standby pass was the surprise, and that was just really inconvenient because you just kind of like praying for the best. It could be like in an hour, it could be in 5 minutes, but it also could be like 10 minutes before closure. You're like,
because like on Max Pass, you like scroll and you're like, I can do India in like 25 minutes. Yeah, I'll do that.
Right, that's true. Oh, you're right. That is.
And with Max Pass as well, they had like the allowance where you could go in before your time, didn't they? I feel like they had like
I think it was 5 minutes before and 15 after or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know, something like that.
But I mean, with that's the one thing, maybe the only one thing that this pandemic has done well for DLP. Well, the refurbishments, and also pushing them to finish all those digital projects that I'm sure would have taken another 5 years, and now have been forced to mature very quickly. So hopefully,
major credit where credit's due. The app stuff has been good, and I was actually quite excited. They've actually got the online check-in now ready and working.
That no one has tried because they closed before it started, isn't it?
Yeah, so.
I haven't even opened the app for months now.
I hate that the app is still in the other folder on your iPhone. If someone from the app is listening, please put it in the travel category and not in the other, because apart from the crap Alexa app and Disneyland Paris, these are my only apps that are in the other folder.
What's in my other folder? I'm sure there is some stuff. I don't even know. Oh, yeah. Oh, Philips Hue. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Philips Hue. I've actually removed it because it was bugging me so much that it was in the other.
So just use the home app.
And just use the home app.
Oh, Line Betty sits in other as well.
So April 2nd. April 2nd is the next try, and they're reopening with 2 hotels. Are they the same hotels that they reopened with last time?
No.
Last time was Cheyenne.
No, they just reopened with Newport Bay for like the first week or 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then Cheyenne reopened, and then Santa Fe very shortly after.
Yeah. And then Cheyenne.
But then Cheyenne closed again.
Yeah.
And this time it's going to be Santa Fe and Newport. The interesting thing is Disneyland Hotel is not reopening anytime soon. It doesn't even have a reopening date. The latest date that we have is October 23rd, and that's Sequoia Lodge. So that means that Disneyland Hotel is not even planned. I mean, unless they surprise us, but it looks like Disneyland Hotel is not even planned to reopen until the end of this year. And at
Well,
this
Marvel
point,
doesn't have a date either.
Marvel doesn't have a date. Marvel was not even mentioned on the list, which makes me think that they're cooking up something, because Marvel is supposed to come this summer. So my guess is that it's gonna be Marvel, and then I guess Disneyland Hotel is just gonna stay closed forever.
Well, the publicized plan was always that it was going to be like once they finish a hotel, they move on to the next one, and the only hotel left is Disneyland Hotel. So in theory, once they finish New York,
Crockett hasn't been done either.
Yeah,
Right, but it doesn't count.
Oh, that's mean. Crockett's nice.
Okay.
I've never been there.
Never been
It's
either,
really
because
cool,
I don't have a car. If someone, I'm gonna ask friends who have cars to take me one day just for like lunch or something, just so I can go look around.
It's actually really cool. So, like, if you've seen the Davy Crockett films, it's literally like you're walking through it, and it's really cool actually.
That is cool.
Oh.
I've never been to Village Nature.
The swimming pool in Davy Crockett is insane.
I have seen photos of that, and it looks very
Yeah.
good. A lot,
Never
like
done
you see
it.
all the Facebook groups. A lot of people will book Davy Crockett because of the pool.
Yeah, and also, I mean, if you have like a family and if you come by car, why not? It's not.
Oh, the
It's not
little
a bad-
cabins are cute. They're really nice. Actually.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea, and you can fit a lot of people, I think, in them. And
Yeah.
yeah.
And
So
each one has like a little barbecue as well, which is really fun.
yeah,
That's fun. It's
You
like
can
Centre
cook it.
Parks at Disneyland Paris.
Oh, if you go to the shop there, which is huge, it's like a supermarket. It's crazy.
huh? Okay,
We have to go,
maybe,
Ben.
Yeah, maybe we can do an excursion there sometime. So Disneyland Hotel not reopening. Is it gonna just stay closed and just have its transformation into the Princess Hotel? Maybe, I don't know. It'll be interesting. But then that means that, are they gonna wait for the 30th anniversary to kick off so that they don't have all the scaffolding? Maybe they're going to do it like in summer 2022 once the anniversary is quite ongoing. I don't know. It's kind of weird choices, but I guess they don't have that many options. So right now, I don't think there's just the customer demand for Disneyland Hotel, especially once...
It was always going to be a project that was like kind of inconvenient because of the iconic location the hotel sits in. So I think we were always going to have to sort of see... But I think in the long term, for the exterior, it'll be worth it.
But it's kind of interesting. Go ahead, Jeff.
You don't want to have... So for the 30th, you're going to have a big press event, right? You always do for those 5-year anniversaries. That can't be in scaffolding for that. It just can't be.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, like, I understand that, they tried to do Newport Bay Club piece by piece, and there was a lot of inconvenience for the guests, and people didn't like it, and that's why they decided to just gut New York and do it quickly, which in the end turned out to be much longer than planned, because we know why. But so it looks like they're trying to do the same for Disneyland Hotel, but I don't know, because Disneyland Hotel has 3 buildings, and so...
Yeah.
Once you've done the middle, the problem is the only problem is the middle building, because you have so many amenities in there. So I feel like that one.
Well, I'm reception.
Yeah, the reception building's really tricky because that's where the buses are and things like that.
But you could still like do like a walkway outside that goes next to guest relations, and then build some temporary stairs that connect to the walkway, and just keep the entire reception
apart from are there any actual guest rooms in the middle section apart from Castle Club and the suites?
Yeah, Castle Club,
yeah.
So in theory, you could, the best, if they had to do it split, they could close the whole hotel, do the east wing and the center, then reopen and be without the west wing.
Yeah. I think so, because they have that bridge, so if you put like proper walls, like people would not even know it exists.
I actually love those bridges. They have such a weird like magic feeling. I don't know. Anyway,
they used to have princess meets in there. Remember when the princesses would come in randomly, and we used to always try to catch them.
And like Mary Poppins and Bert. So classic.
I remember the descent of the stairs in the lobby. That was always just insane, crazy times every Sunday.
Yeah.
Oh, it was Wednesday through Sunday, but Sunday was the good one, because Sunday you got basically the brunch characters for free. It was great.
Yeah, I mean, they still kind of like run around, but you don't really see them anymore.
For obvious reasons.
Yeah, and I hope when they refurb Disneyland Hotel that they give them some proper break rooms so that the characters can come out directly inside the restaurant, because the Inventions is not properly set up to have character dining. It was clearly not really well thought in the 80s. Maybe it was not a big thing then.
I think the expectation of characters back then was just wandering around the parks, wasn't it?
Yeah, because they still have to use conference rooms next to the restaurant and just walk down the middle and the hallways of the restaurant of the hotel, which is not ideal.
I don't know where you put it without taking away space in the restaurant.
But you can probably use one of those same rooms and just build a new door at the back of Invention. You know, in like the main room, the circle room. I feel like those rooms that they use to get to, I don't know, break the magic. Those rooms they use to rest are just behind that wall. So if you just make a door there, you could have a character exit and entrance there.
The kitchen's in the way. But
is it the whole way?
Mm-hmm. Moving on.
Okay. Well, I don't know. We need the plans for the hotel.
Armchair Imagineering.
I know, right? So there's still quite a bit of news that we have not talked about since the last podcast that we did. We had the Inside Ears Christmas event.
Christmas party.
Christmas show.
Christmas show.
Event.
Christmas show. Yeah. Where we learned quite a bit. But I think, I mean, it depends what you focus on, but I think the biggest news was that the castle is finally being refurbished.
I'm so excited for this. So excited.
Yeah, I think that was the only thing we didn't actually know about. I mean, we got more details, of course, about the other stuff, but
yeah, and it's going to be interesting because they're going to remove some of the turrets, and I think we've talked about this on the show actually before, where there were rumors that they were going to replace the roofs. So technically, I guess they're going to bring some giant crane and lift the entire turret and then just put a new one.
It's exactly how the original castle was constructed.
Yeah.
The last time the main turret came down was when they installed the second star to the right for Dreams. They did it in one night. They took the turret off, put it on the Central Plaza, quickly installed the star and put it back all in one night.
You're joking?
No.
Oh. Is there photos of this?
No, I've tried so many times. Like they should. It's in the Channel 5 Disney Dreams documentary with Steve Davison and Katie
Harris?
Katie Harris, yeah.
Oh, I remember Katie Harris.
Yeah, I love her. So if you've never seen that documentary, like watch it. It's on YouTube. It's about how they made Magic on Parade and Disney Dreams.
All right.
Back in the day when we used to get good stuff like that on TV.
You say how they made Disney Magic on Parade. They just took the old parade and put some new music to it.
There was this really enthusiastic American lady talking about how they added sparkles to the final float. She was like, we're going to bedazzle it with blue. And it was really, like, I'll show you.
Well, the final float changed color and stuff.
Yeah.
And that float has been reused so many times. Now it's the Princess float. Kind of crazy.
Oh, yeah. That was weird.
Yeah, that's the float.
It went from a princess float.
I keep forgetting that that's like a thing still. Like,
yeah, the princess float, and it was quite useful before the closure in March 2020 when they couldn't have the princess in the pavilion, and basically the resort was trying so hard to still have some characters and offerings. I mean, little did they know, if they knew what was coming, they would have just given up and be like, bye.
They really chose to
really
try and safely ride the wave.
Bless them.
Do you remember that week where we were like, they're hanging on? Like, at this point, it's probably better if they just go.
Yeah, it's kind of like just, I mean, but it was nice. They did such a good job. I mean, those princess mini shows and whatever, like, this is like rehearsal and planning normally. It takes like
months.
It's like months of planning, and they just did it over the weekend or something like that. So well done. But I mean, of course, then it all came crumble down and everything was closed till July. So
little did we know in July.
I know. We know in July it was only temporarily reopening.
I remember like all those discussions. It was like, yeah, I'm going to go for the reopening. There's only ever going to be one reopening, so of course you're going to go to it.
Don't even. And like this new reopening in April, I feel like it's going to be emotional. It's going to be good, but I don't think it's going to be the same.
It'll be a very Hong Kong Disneyland style reopening.
Exactly. I don't think. I mean, I feel like the cast members are going to clap and all, but I don't think it's going to be such a huge reopening.
I don't want a Hong Kong style reopening because it closed again like a month later.
Okay, yeah. We have the vaccine now.
And technically, when they reopen, if they reopen in April, it's going to have been closed longer than the first time around.
That's scary.
That's weird, isn't it?
First time around was 4 months, and now it's going to be 6 months because November, December, January, February, March is going to be 5 months. So,
do you think they knew this when they were naming the Infinity Bar? It's just like, do you know what? It just never expires. Like, it just keeps going and going and going.
Jeff, your pass is going into like, I don't know, like 2030 by now.
But I also think the governments are being more cautious this time in terms of slowing their reopening tactics, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're just being careful, and people are used to it now because we were all hoping that it would open for Christmas, and then they didn't, and then we're all hoping that it would open for February, and now they didn't, so I think people are not getting their hopes up too much now and are just, well...
I think, realistically, we knew Christmas was unlikely to happen.
Yeah.
I think we always knew that because they were saying, like, for the whole year, when all the scientists were going, it's going to be really bad in winter, and we went, ha ha ha, the cases are so small now. And then sort of when we both went back into those lockdowns, and they're like, yeah, we might open for Christmas. I think we all went, yeah, probably not, though.
No. So for the castle, there's a lot that we know, but there's also a lot that we don't know. So the scaffoldings have started going up, and we've had some photos on the account 2 weekends ago, thanks to Louis, actually. And they're going to remove the turrets. My question is, do you guys think they're going to put LEDs in the roof? Because I'm kind of obsessed with that idea. I feel like if the new turrets should have built-in LED sparkles inside the tiles. Like, if they don't do that, that's so silly because it would be so great. They could use it for the projection shows. They could use it for Christmas.
I think it's likely. So the light cages that we used to have at Christmas, they are currently out back waiting to be disposed of.
Oh, we saw them at Run Disney. I took a selfie with it as a hat.
Oh yeah, but they are like properly waiting to go now. Like they're literally sat in the car park.
Well, that's good. That's a good sign, I guess, if they're going. Because we haven't even seen them for 2 years now, 2 seasons, because we didn't have a Christmas this time, and then the Christmas before, they were just
it was
meant to
missing,
start the castle refurbishment earlier.
Yeah,
they thought they could replace it with
like
projections.
It didn't work at all. It was terrible.
No, yeah. Well, I thought that they were gonna have permanent projections all night running, but they didn't. It was just like the illumination, whatever, and then it would just go away. Because in Disney World was it over the summer or the fall? No, it was for Christmas.
The holidays.
Wait, it was for the holidays. You're right. It was for the holidays. They didn't have any shows or whatever, but they had like a permanent projection all night. And it was really just like some slow moving designs, and it would just switch around to something different from time to time. So you'd always have like different photos. I thought that was the plan for us the year before. But no.
It was an interesting offering what was provided in the end.
I know. Yeah.
I thought it was pretty poor.
I think the budget had been slashed quite heavily.
Yeah, that Christmas season wasn't great, was it?
No. A lot of things disappeared. But yeah. And another thing is the colors. It looks like they're gonna stay the same except being refreshed, I guess. But
I think the blue is a bit more blue.
But is it more blue because the current blue has been like through the dishwasher for 30 years? Maybe? And the sun and the snow.
I don't know. It does look slightly different.
I don't think it's like California or Florida blue, but it's like blue.
It's not going to be as bad a job as California. Not California, sorry. Walt Disney World did, because that's...
Yeah, it was a choice. I kind of liked it in like grey or whatever color that was. Grey.
Yeah. The concept art for that project looked really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just didn't come out very well.
No. So there's going to be, I guess in April, if and when they reopen, there's going to be a giant tarp also in front of it. So welcome back.
But it's going to have Fauna, Flora and Merryweather all over the top.
What? What did you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Have you not seen that anywhere? Like all over the top, they're like flying around. It's really cool.
It will be cool, but at the same time,
yeah,
there's kind of the really cool thing of walking into the park. And it's going to be your first
After
time for nearly a
closure.
year, I guess. And you're not going to see that castle. And it's going to be a little bit disappointing, but it is for the greater good, and it's the best time to do it because barely anyone's going.
Yeah.
But
It is definitely, it has turned out to be the best time to do this.
it's just kind of sad that, your first time back, you're not going to see a castle. It was going to happen at some point. And also I feel like because it's going to be now close till April, they can really bring out all the trucks and work quicker. So hopefully that'll be done by the end of summer and or the fall. And when we go for not Run Disney, because I don't have my hopes up for that one, but maybe for Halloween it'll be back. So let's hope. It would be nice.
It would be nice.
And it's the best time to do it because, again, like I said, barely anyone's going. It's going to disrupt probably the least amount of people right now.
Yeah.
I really think that the 30th is going to be a big year for DLP because obviously the 30th, the anniversary years are very big anyway. And I think you're going to have a lot of people thinking, oh, the last year's been awful. Let's go to Disney, as a celebration.
But I suppose you could also say that maybe more people will say, let's just have a blowout trip and go to Orlando.
I think some people still, yes and no.
Maybe, but I mean, they just got like a new crown jewel for this anniversary, and it's Avengers Campus, because Avengers Campus was supposed to open basically in 2 months, and now it's opening in a year, and in over a year, and so the whole buzz of Avengers Campus is gonna now combine with the 30th anniversary. There's gonna be a lot because they're gonna have a new parade, quote unquote, ish, some new things on the parade, and probably a new nighttime show, and probably some day shows and some merchandise, decorations and all that kind of stuff. And then they're gonna have the big new Avengers Campus, and Hotel New York, the Art of Marvel, will have been open by then, and so it's gonna be quite a lot. I mean, 2022 is gonna be big, and also hopefully, we're done with this crisis. There's not like a new version that has come out by then of the virus, and we can all go there, maybe even without a mask. I don't know, maybe that's wishing too much.
I was thinking about this actually. So we've got the 30th anniversary in 2022, which would be quite cool. But then the year afterwards is the 100th anniversary of the Walt Disney Company. And something's going to happen.
Well, they're going to have like a Mickey 90 type of thing, right? No, in all the parks and stuff.
So do you think the anniversary will only be like 1 year and then they will
I don't. I think it will go through... But I think
Disneyland Paris 30, DLP 30 celebrates 100 years of the Walt Disney Company.
No, I don't.
It's going to go to September 23 or something.
But I think that there will be something happening for the 100th anniversary of the company. It's going to be relatively big.
But that's not really a parks event, no. Although I guess
they
was
love
really
that kind of stuff.
Event. Yeah.
Mickey 90 was fun.
Mickey 90 was fun.
And when they pushed back D23, they kind of went out of their way to say, hey, we're going to push it back to 2022, and you're going to hear about the first news of the 100th anniversary of the company. So it kind of tells you that they have an idea of what they're doing as a company, and it might be big. I don't know.
What do you know, Jeff? I feel like you have some tea there.
No, I just think there is something that's cooking somewhere, and I think it'll be quite interesting.
All right. Should we take a break? It's been 35 minutes. We're going to take a break with some music, which I have not picked, but by the time you listen to this, we will have picked the music. And then we'll be right back in a few minutes.
This is the end anthem. Here's what you came for. This is the moment magic was made for. Come on, come on, let's light up the sky now. You feel the magic happening right now. Now, 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 now.
Welcome back.
Oh, thank you, Elliot. Welcome back to the DLP Report Podcast.
That's my impression of you.
What did we just listen to, Ben?
Well, there was a great song by something that you've just listened to.
Magic everywhere.
So in other news that we've learned in December is the state of Cars Route 66, and
I'm actually really excited for this.
I was gonna say, Elliot, I think you're like in my team on that. Jeff, I don't know if you're very excited. No,
I'm not, and it's not because I don't know. It just doesn't excite that much.
I think here's the thing. Like, I put this attraction as a sort of like side attraction. Like, and it is definitely not an e-ticket. It's probably like a C ticket. And I think what they're doing is in studios, there aren't that many attractions that little kids can go to. Especially
at
like
the end of the day, the guests love these characters.
Right. So there's the other Cars one. You're right. There's the other Cars one. But I mean, Crush Coaster, not great for kids. It really spins a lot. All of Avengers Campus is basically,
teenagers.
Little. I'm talking like little kids. I think Carpet is gonna go at some point. It's gonna just be removed. You have the shows, sure, but Tower Terror they can go on. Toy Story Playland, surprisingly, a lot of the rides. I mean, Racer, whatever, like the
RC Racer.
RC Racer.
Or if you're in Shanghai, what's it called? Rex's Racer.
It freaks me out. I mean, when it goes all the way up.
I love RC Racer.
Yeah, but I mean, it's intense. It doesn't look like it, but it's pretty intense. And
RC's great. I think that's really fun. And it is an intense ride. Yeah, that's not a kid's ride.
Yeah. So I think what they're trying to do is to have more attractions that are accessible to kids, and it's going to be cute. And I think the theming is going to turn out to be decent based on what we've seen
and
from the
it is
air.
our first time going out of the perimeter of the Walt Disney Studios Park.
That's true. That is technically the first extension of the usual guest perimeter.
But I mean, it's just basically a footpath, and that's kind of where, I don't know, it just...
Let me get excited over a footpath. I've been waiting for this since 2018.
Yeah, but you go to... I know it's unfair to compare it to Cars Land, but that really immerses you into the world of
course.
cars.
I mean, if you
and
start
this is just
going
going to be a
that
footpath.
way, yeah, no, I mean, it's gonna be like a 4 minutes, 5 minute attraction. The trams are just gonna go around that hill, and you're just gonna have like a few stops, and they're gonna talk, and then you go through Catastrophe Canyon, and all the water's gonna come out. And
to be fair, like the effort they've put into the story of that little booth and everything is really cute.
Yeah, there's a whole story there, and the station is kind of like cute-ish. I mean, it's like we'll have to see it finished. They released that concept art that was just like, why we don't want to see that, because it's clearly not going to be that color, and clearly there's not all the theming on it, but they don't tell you that. They just released it in the wild, and so everyone was like, oh my god, what the heck is that? This is like as ugly as the studio used to be. But apparently there's going to be more. So yeah, and it's the Loch Ness, which
That
is
exciting.
Does it have McQueen in the middle?
I don't know.
It looks like on some of the so they have like released also some little postcards and stuff that are going to be in the booth at the entrance, and some of the drawings look like there's going to be like Mater on the road, and McQueen and the Loch Ness and some giant, I don't know, tools.
The only thing I would say is, number one, sell the postcards because you have to, because you've made that art, so just do it. And then, I don't know, maybe it'd be nice to get some of the Cars merchandise from California, because there's some really good stuff there. Like, I'm not a big Cars fan, but you go into those shops in California and you're like, do you know what? I would actually buy that.
Yeah, there's some fun t-shirts with like puns and some fun mugs. And you can even sell like Flo's Diner stuff and all that kind of stuff, because even though we don't have one, it's still part of the Cars story, so you could still sell those things.
Yeah, I just hope the merchandise doesn't go down there. And Paris always fall into this trap, and it's kind of irritating, where they sort of make it overly kiddie. It's really irritating when they do that.
Yeah.
I hate it.
So another thing I think that's about it that we can say about Cars, right? I mean, like, you're just gonna go around the block and see some fun stories about Cars. I'm not selling it very well, am I? Elliot
it's hard. It's hard
asleep.
to sell. I mean, it is hard to sell because number one, I don't know if the story is going to make any kind of sense at all. It sort of feels a little bit like you're just going to drive around and here's lightning, here's Catastrophe Canyon that we've repainted. That was fun, wasn't it?
I don't think that's what they're going to say.
Though.
It looks good, yeah. They've done a good job. They've been at it for a while. I mean, I can't remember when they started doing this, but it was
January 2020?
Really? I feel like it was even before
it was.
No?
It was 2020, wasn't it?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
So to be fair, they haven't even been at it for a year, and they had the suspension of the construction as well.
Yeah. But I mean, it really feels like it's gonna stay past the extension. It's not really like a filler. I feel like there's something we're gonna be stuck with.
Yeah, that's the thing, because I think that you could do something with Cars in that space, and it's not going to be the same as Cars Land in California. But I think there is something that you can do there that is quite immersive and quite nice. And I just feel like I hope they do it.
Well, on the concept art, it's Cozy Cone.
Yeah, so it could be filler for a bit, but it'd be nice if they're going to keep it, do something with that area that could be your third land or fourth land or whatever way you want to look at it. Like, it could be a kind of small version of Cars Land, and that would be really nice.
But you need an e-ticket, because that is not an e-ticket.
I don't know.
Dancing cars.
Yes, we want dancing cars.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, they could just, they have the technology for Ratatouille down the streets. They could probably share, facilities and stuff, because they're all the same type of Wi-Fi control. The only thing is, I feel like we'd need a roof, because it's not California, and if it starts raining...
That's fine. We can put roofs on things.
Yeah. Maybe they could do it an indoor version.
Cool garage.
They could do an indoor version of it. Do it nighttime.
Yeah. I mean, that's what they were going to do before they got more budget for Hong Kong Disneyland. There's meant to be an indoor version of that with the oaken sleighs.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, there was that. Yeah, maybe we could have an indoor version of that. That'd be fun. But it's still like a small attraction though. And also you also have the issue. You also have the issue of having like the Cars, quatre roues rally thing that is all the way on the other side of Toy Story Playland.
Just you've got that anyway.
It's kind of stuck there, and they've just refurbed it, so I guess it's not moving, and it's just there. And there's no way to link it to the rest because, unless you, I don't know.
It's such a bizarre place to put it.
I feel like eventually that area will be sorted out with a bit more polished up once other things are in order.
But Toy Studio was a quick fix, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But like when they refurbed that Cars attraction, the current one that we have, they basically replaced almost everything. They repainted everything, and they replaced the turntables, and they refurbished the cars. They took everything out. Why didn't they just rebuild it on the other side of Toy Story Playland near the Cars tour attraction? The Cars
and if
Route
you
66.
move the facade as well, you've already got Luigi's.
Yeah.
Anyway. And now it's just not going to make any sense.
They also need guest capacity at the end of the day. They can't just strip out the attractions.
Sure, but it's not going to make any sense really, because you've got Luigi's that kind of is this also semi-tourist information. When you go in it, it's kind of very similar. I don't know. It's weird. It's just a weird choice. Like everything about it is bizarre and strange, and I think that's going to be something that fans will be talking about for quite a long time.
And also that access road is basically you're going to go behind RC Racer and walk for quite a bit to get there. And there's nothing along that road. And it's not like you're entering Galaxy's Edge where a long hallway gives you a different universe. Like this is just going to be a plain road with a couple trees and maybe some fun signs.
I mean, they have to do something, right? Because else you're going to hear diggers going digging that lake.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
I can't wait for us to all go to the Toy Story parachute drop and be like, "Hi, can we have that one, please?" Oh, it's busy. Oh, we'll wait for the next one. It's fine.
They're used to it. We did it for Ratatouille.
Oh my god.
I was in the fan community for the building of Ratatouille. I remember those days.
Yeah. But it's gonna be very interesting. But I'm excited to go check it out. I mean, I'll be there.
It's something new. I'm a sucker for anything new.
I think opening wise, we're actually not so far, because if we reopen early April, I think it could come up as early as June or July. I think.
Have we
it was meant to be ready in about.
I don't think
it was meant to be ready in about 6 months, wasn't it?
I don't think it's gonna be ready for opening in April, but maybe surprise us. Maybe. I'm really worried about.
I don't think you're reopening a new attraction on opening day, right? That feels like it's probably pushing capacity.
Yeah, that feels weird. You're right. You guys are not ready for the cast costumes.
Oh boy. I have not
because they are. I can't remember the exact combination, but I think they're a combination of recycled from Rock and Roller Coaster and some Armageddon and some Charm Tour stuff. It's basically they've combined the jackets, I think, from one of the defunct attraction of Backlots. Yeah. So I don't think they're gonna be new. I think they're just reusing. Maybe they're gonna put some new, logo on it or something. But so fun. It is what it is. I guess Avengers Campus will have all brand new costumes, so you just can't have it all, people. It's Paris.
I could just show up in the Disney Channel outfits.
Only Tokyo has it all, so I don't know. I feel like I'm going to start that, Tokyo Disneyland report and just move to Tokyo. They can have it all over there.
No, it's more fun to be a little bit terrible and great at the same time.
I have been saying that, and being a Disneyland Paris fan is a lot of fun because you can be outraged and love it at the same time. I feel like we have such a dysfunctional park that it makes it super interesting to follow.
It makes it a hobby.
I just love when it's like, oh, we're going to announce this new thing, and you're like, oh boy.
Yeah. Yeah, when they came out with the whole Cars thing, I think we all looked at each other and were like, "It's what?" what?
Is this for real?
What? What? Yeah. And they're like, no, guys, yeah, we're gonna retheme it to cars, and people are like, but so many questions.
I think like the best thing is when you go to like the fan events and they show something off, and all the fans are a bit like,
I know, right? Jesus.
And like you've got like the cast members like, are you excited?
Yeah.
I guess it might be all right. I'll have to wait and see.
Well, something that will be exciting for reopening is that Buzz Lightyear will definitely be done now, because it was going to be done for February, and Orbitron is going to be done. So Orbitron is not going to be a lot, but I think what they're doing at Orbitron is changing a lot of the computerized systems and all that, so that it breaks down less often. And also, I believe they are adding FastPass. So
why?
Well.
See, that's exactly what we're talking about.
Well, it is what it is.
Low capacity.
Just let it be.
It's low capacity, but it never really had a bad
Tokyo
view.
also has FastPass, and Phantom Manor has FastPass, and we're all kind of like, huh? But then, eventually people used it. So I feel like if it's there,
no one used Phantom Manor Fast. Or was it on the?
Well, Phantom
it's
Manor
on the paid.
Yeah, but Phantom Manor FastPass was used for the paid FastPass. People who had the bracelets, you could use it there.
Yeah. I see.
Yeah. So you can get a FastPass ticket for it, but you could.
I remember for like a week they tied it up so everyone who got a Big Thunder Mountain Fast Pass got a Phantom Manor one, like as a test.
Oh,
back
really?
in the day.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
I don't remember that.
And
I'll
I
find
don't
it,
remember that either. And something else new, but so we don't know when that is going to be ready, is Dream Factory, Disney Junior Dream Factory. It's really hard to say, or is it just me? Disney Junior Dream
Disney
Factory.
Junior Dream Factory. Disney Junior
It's a
Dream
lot of
Factory.
Yeah, okay.
Tu ne parles pas anglais.
Yeah. And that is going to be, I guess, at some point after reopening. It'll be interesting because
obviously the implications of COVID means they can't run a
It is like
show.
a show. It is definitely a show
That's actually the
setting.
worst one, because you've got all the kids on the floor just mixing.
And I guess the prevailing conditions are gonna have to see if they prevail over that show.
I think the show is
Very
ready
well
to
done.
go. When was that show meant to launch? Wasn't it like last April?
Yeah, April last year.
Like a year
We're about,
ago, yeah.
we're about a month
Just
out, I
before
think.
closure, yeah. It's ready. That's not. I don't think that's the problem. So we've seen the costumes doing that Christmas show, and
It looks so good.
I mean, we had seen
Set.
seen the concept art before closure, because it was supposed to be launching soon, but now, but now we've seen them in real life, and they're cute. They're good. I kind of like the concept art better, but they're cute.
I think they're really nice, and I really like the steampunk design. I think it's going to be really cool.
Yeah.
But I mean, is the plot going to be really similar to the Disney Junior shows in, say, California? Because that, like, when they said, "Oh, we're going to have Fancy Nancy, we're going to have
What is the plot
Arena, and we're
to
going to have
California?"
Oh, who knows? Like, they go, "Oh, DJ's going to spin them in." And the DJ spins them in. They sing a song. And
I think it's like,
that's it.
yeah, we need like, oh no, the machine's broken.
do
This
you
machine's
guys know-
powered by dreams.
Do you not know the story? Let me tell you the story. It's basically Mickey
Story that you think
and Minnie are running the Dream Factory, but when we come in, the Dream Factory starts, but oh no, it's actually coming to a halt because people.
Okay, so it's the same.
People are not dreaming enough, and because people are not dreaming enough, the factory runs on dreams, so they need to.
Isn't there like some queen of the factory, like lady
don't know.
or something? I'm sure I heard about
They
this.
might have some helpers.
So
then they call some Disney friends, but there's no DJ though. They call some
Yeah,
Disney
so-
friends.
Yeah.
So yeah,
You
in
haven't
California, there's a
experienced the DJ.
Oh, DJ is
DJ.
killing
And what was the guy called?
Oh, I don't know.
He was irrelevant.
He was irrelevant, but it was kind of the same prospect. So like, it was, I think the DJ spun them in to play some Disney tunes, and like the more that the house was bumping, it was like that
That
what's
is
going to power
totally
it.
not the same
Oh,
story.
but it was such a good time.
That is
Like
not the
I
same
when the
story.
roaster
really
race-
great time.
This story
When
is
the
about
Roadster
dreams,
Racers came
and
on,
dreams power the factory. This is not like DJ and bumping.
Next time we go to
really great
California, we
time.
will take you.
Okay.
all
Well, that's a
all the
good sign.
cast who like control the door when the Roadster Racers came on, they all got out flags.
And then this castman was just standing there waving the flags, but couldn't look less enthusiastic about it. So funny.
What if it's your like 15th time that you've been waving the flag? It's probably like, okay.
This was when we had spent 2 weeks at DLR already, and we were like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like loon.
Blasé.
No,
But, like-
we were. Oh,
Looking
There
for
was
new
like,
things to do.
there was like, we were sat there, and we're in like the adult section at the back, and like, you have all these parents that are like going, "Well, this is boring," and we're like, "Let's spin it in."
Oh god. You were those
we
people.
We were those people.
Yeah.
But it was
But
really
it's
good
good-
fun, actually. So if it's a kind of similar, and it sounds really similar, other than dreams and stuff, I think it's gonna be quite fun.
Yeah, and I guess so. All the Disney friends is going to be Timon because he's in the Lion Guard, and Vampirina,
they're the same characters,
and
exactly the same.
Is it Fancy Nancy and then
Vampirina, I think. is probably
Vampirina
right.
and Timon, I think. And so they're all going to come in and do a number so that people can dream because Vampirina, she's learning to be herself, and Fancy Nancy, she dreams of being fancy, and Timon dreams.
She dreams of being a ballerina.
I don't know. Mark said she dreamed of being fancy. I just believe him. And
Mark doesn't know the plot.
I don't know.
I think she dreams of being a ballerina. Let me check that.
We still have that
It is,
interview.
'cause she's got
I
like
need
the
to
little
call-
ballerina skirt.
We need to air that interview at some point.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
definitely ballerina.
One day.
But Fancy Nancy is bilingual, so in the show she speaks French and English.
Yeah. I don't know.
Kind of
but
like Dora.
Our show is gonna
Oh,
be.
that's Nickelodeon.
But the good thing is that I feel like it's kind of a slot-in show where they can remove one character and put someone new if needed without reworking the entire show. So if you have those three characters, then whatever is popular on Disney Junior or on Disney Plus these days, they can just bring in the character and build them like a 3-minute number while keeping the 20 other minutes the same, and so that way you don't have to like rework an entire new show. So, and you can totally
think that'd be
sell
good fun.
that as like new updated. You can now have that.
But that's
new
exactly
character.
what they did for Playhouse Disney way back in the day, because it used to have Bear in the Big Blue House.
Don't know what that is.
Kids
I'm
show.
probably
for-
not.
When that show closed,
I'm
it
probably
still
not
had
the
like
demographic.
Candy Manny and Little Einsteins, which I saw when I was a kid. So it was time for an update.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's going to be quite good.
There was a thing about Disney Junior is that a lot of parents were like, yeah, I'll take my kids to it, but, they have no idea who those characters are because they haven't been on TV for like 5 years. And the kids, they don't remember. They're, they've moved on. There's been like 20 different characters since then, and they just are not interested in the ones that they were watching when they were 5 years younger because it was like their baby years. So it's good that they at least are trying, but hopefully it's not going to be like a Disney Illumination situation where they're like, yeah guys, we're going to update this every 6 months, and then
Beauty
a century later it's the same show.
I remember way back when it launched, and I think it was Chris Van der Sand, I think, said the only thing missing from this show is the coming soon to DVDs trail.
I know, right? I mean, it is that Illumination. Oh, well, that's one thing we can talk about. So the castle has now gone in refurb, and that's expected to be going until about the end of the year. And then with the anniversary starting in March 2022, I mean, there hasn't been any confirmation, but I'm pretty sure we will never see Disney Illuminations again.
So there is a
What
good
a
thing
shame.
that COVID did.
I know, right? Yeah, because
Thanks,
I
COVID.
don't think they will revive it for like January, February 2022 for 2 months, and then launch a
No
new
point.
spectacular in March. That is just because also they're going to need to do some test and adjust, and they're going to need to work on a new show, and that's just going to be the excuse.
Can we get drones? Because after watching the
Yeah.
London fireworks this
Right?
year, the surprise
Yes.
fireworks,
Yeah.
could you imagine if they put tangled lanterns on the outside of the drones and flew them up behind? Oh,
It would be really
Chef's
cool,
kiss.
but they're going to break.
Well, I think, Jeff, you're not wrong, because I think it is one thing to produce one New Year's show. It is another thing to have a permanent team that runs those things every single night. But also, to be honest, I feel like now is also going to be a time where guests are going to have to get used to the California-style show schedule where fireworks are not every night. You know?
Really?
And yeah, I think so. It's about...
I think DLP is a different style of resort, though. People come into DLP are on holiday.
Yeah, but when you come on holiday, you have
disagree.
several nights, and maybe if you come like Tuesday to Saturday, you'll get fireworks on Friday night, and then that'll be your fireworks night.
Yeah, I disagree with what Elliot was saying there, because I come from a land where DLP had fireworks for 1 month of the year. Like, that's it. They weren't allowed to run them any other time.
Yeah, but then that was always like the biggest complaint, no fireworks, I'm going to Florida.
But I think if you have a show like Disney Dreams, it's okay, because that show is really sweet and emotional, and I don't think it needed fireworks. With Illuminations, you need the fireworks because that's what it's got. It needs the bang.
Yeah, but the cost isn't the fireworks themselves, it's the operating until dark.
Well, the cost is also operating the fire. It's not the fireworks, as in like it's not the gunpowder, but those fireworks teams, and you need to have the firefighters out, the whole team of firefighters. You need to water the roofs. You need to wire the fireworks in the afternoon, and after the show, they need to stay in the park for several hours to clean up all.
It's an 8-hour shift, basically.
Yeah, so and those people get paid way, way more than regular cast members. It's an expensive operation.
And imagine if you're just doing a projection show in the middle of winter where the park closes at, say, 6:30. You can keep Fantasyland open.
You just need the control room and to have like 3 people in there who press a few buttons.
Yeah, and you don't need to worry about closing Fantasyland at some arbitrary time in the middle of the afternoon. Like, you can just keep it.
But then aren't they meant to be moving to a place where they have like an expensive lake show running every night in the other park?
Yeah, that's less of an issue, actually.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm not pushing for it. I like that we've gotten used to having fireworks every night. But I don't know if that's a viable... It also means that if they don't do that, they can also invest in other things. Like they can put money aside for a night parade, for example, and they can have cast members to run the night parade. And they can do other things than have fireworks. Because fireworks are great, but, we've all seen many fireworks. We've all seen many fireworks at Disney. Like, it'd be interesting to see something different. People always want something new.
I think night parades... So I think I might even be on this podcast, actually, where I think that fireworks shows are becoming quite mainstream, and you can see them just about anywhere now, even projection shows. What I think Disney does do better than anybody else are nighttime parades, and I think that is something that's so unique to Disney that I kind of want that.
Yeah.
That to me is more valuable than a projection show right now.
Yeah, but also, I mean, night parades are very expensive in terms of cast members and all that, and maintenance and lights.
Thousands of sparkling lights.
I know. Oh yeah. I mean, I'm sold. I want
and
one.
electrosynthetic, whatever it is. I can't remember now off the top of my head.
Yeah, I mean, at this rate, Disneyland is never going to reopen. We can get their paint tonight and returning in time for when they reopen.
It's not like they used it anyway.
Yeah, they weren't using it. It was such a weird... Disneyland and Paint Tonight was such a weird thing, because Paint Tonight is such an amazing parade, and everyone loved it. People were really coming to see that. I went to see that during the 60th when... I mean, it was definitely like on my top 3 of things to see for the 60th anniversary. And then after the anniversary, it moved to California Adventure for a little bit, but then it just disappeared. I don't know.
It's still there. Well, it's not there. It's in a warehouse somewhere else.
Right. I mean, what I mean is like it disappeared from the parade route. So it's really weird because it's a huge investment, and I'd be really curious
I'm sure
to
it'll
see.
come back.
Yeah, no, it will. But
Random interjection that I'm so happy that we got to see Disneyland Forever last summer.
Yeah.
Summer before.
Yeah.
And next year is the 50th anniversary of the Main Street Electrical Parade, so I don't even think it's coming back next year.
They're not going to bring back electrical parade.
Again.
But the Main Street Electrical Parade for the 50th, of course they're going to bring it back. Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, but maybe like for a week or something, please.
No, it's a big job moving all that stuff to Disneyland.
I mean, I love it, but I'm ready for something new. Come on.
I just want to see Magic Happens. Like, still haven't seen that.
Oh, yeah.
I was 2 days away, Elliot. Don't remind me.
I feel really bad for...
And then all our friends got to see it because they went on some random soft
yeah.
opening day by accident.
Yeah.
Like,
Patrick went. Patrick saw it. Oh, so jealous.
I really want to see that. I think it's a really special parade. I would love to see Paris try something like that. I think a lot of the magic of Magic Happens comes from just this really kind of innovative soundtrack. Like, that is incredible.
Yeah.
And I think Paris should really look into doing something like that.
It's just something a little bit more modern.
Yeah, and Paris kind of led the way with that, actually, in the 90s with Dance on a Catchy Rhythm. That was really kind of Paris trying something new, and everybody sort of came along for the ride. And Disneyland have now done the same thing. And I hope that we go along for the ride as well.
Well, we might get a new soundtrack for the anniversary. The only thing is, we're definitely keeping all the new floats that we got for the 25th because they're only 5 years old. They're not gonna return us.
Spin the Dory one.
And the problem is like floats like the Frozen float or the opening float, the telescope. Those things, you can't retheme them like Magic on Parade. Magic on Parade
floats were storybooks.
They were like exactly. They were just like a flat. They were like a flat truck, And
but even they didn't get overly rethemed because Alice in Wonderland was in Once Upon a Dream. Toy Story was on Once Upon a Dream.
No, yeah, it was only the first and the last float that got redone.
Yeah,
and they removed
because you had the Princess float as well. And about halfway through the run, they took it out for 6 months and rethemed it to Frozen. But that was also on Once Upon a Dream Parade.
Yeah. But those floats were so easy to retheme, but how are you going to retheme that telescope float? Like, there's no way. There's no way you can.
Oh, yeah. I think they might stick with Stars on Parade still and just add floats as opposed to change. I mean, Disney's lost in the Magic Parade.
The Lion King float has to go. I mean, it is on the verge of collapsing.
Every time it goes over a little bump, you look at
oh my God.
on the top, like going.
It's going like ding 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 ding. Yeah, I mean, and it looks so faded compared to the other ones because all the new floats are kind of shiny. They went for this shiny paints like Toy Story, the telescope, even the Frozen one. And I mean, the Peter Pan float, I'm not a huge fan either, but the whole swing is innovative and fun. So
I like
that's what Tokyo thought when they designed it.
I feel exactly, but I feel like the Peter Pan float should have got like a coat of shiny paints to make it look plasticky, like a plastic toy, like the other floats. Yeah. But instead, it's like this matte thing, and then they put some like glittery stars on the side, and I was like, okay.
I met the creators of Stars on Parade, and the parade they first envisioned was a very different parade.
Of course, I mean, welcome to Paris when they cut the budget so much that the output is never what the creators envisioned.
But when you look at that first float with it's very steampunk and things like that, and even to an extent that Toy Story kind of follows it through, not quite. I don't think it really pulls it off particularly well, but it's there. And then it's just like, well, okay, well, here's Dory. Wait, what?
Yeah.
And the same for Lion King, same for Peter Pan. I don't know. It had a theme.
And then you go back to Frozen, and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I see Frozen has the theme back. It's like the bookends have one theme, and then the stuff in the middle is just kind of like, okay, a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Well, even
I bet they'll use the Frozen 2 show.
Oh, the dragon. Float. Oh, the dragon has it. Yeah, the dragon's beautiful. I'm glad we got the dragon.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
I missed the dragon. I bet they will include the Frozen 2 float in the new parade.
No,
just a really?
Well, they can't have both, and also the Frozen 2 float is too small for that parade.
No, it's a decent size.
But it's not the same style, and I don't know. Well, we'll see.
Do you think that season will ever come back?
No. That season was a disaster.
And that's where we all were a year ago when we were just talking about this on this podcast.
And and when I say disaster, I mean I don't blame the creatives or the performers or anything, but it's just it was done on such a weird budget and it was sold in such a weird way, trying to get people to come based on things that weren't really what they were, and it was It was just a bad idea. There was just it just went wrong. Some things go wrong sometimes.
And even, I thought the merchandise was a bit strange because obviously they wanted to release all the stuff for the film, which is great. But then there was nothing for the season, which was just strange. And then the food offerings in the park were weird. I remember there was the cod soup. That was bizarre.
Have some cod soup. Happy frozen season.
And when we were in Lucky Nugget, they were like, "Hey, you want to see the frozen menu?" And they just handed us a picture of some Carlsberg. And went, okay.
I guess it is from Northern Europe.
Right, but it's definitely not a menu.
Yeah. Well, something I'm not looking forward to is going back to eat at Disneyland Paris.
I actually miss the vegan chili, and I miss the
That's it. Yeah.
I'd quite like to have the Curry West hot dog again from Oshai.
Yes, I miss the Curry West.
That's really nice, actually.
I miss the Hakuna chicken. I really like the Hakuna chicken and Hakuna fries, and also
shout out to Steph.
And also, I don't hate the, and don't yell at me, but I don't hate the Bella Notte spaghetti and meatballs.
Oh no, it's fine.
I don't hate it. Hate would be too far. I hate basically everything on the menu at Cafe Hyperion.
Oh yeah, Hyperion is just really bad. Yeah. Well, Hyperion, the only thing that was ever good was those little Halloween dessert pumpkin things.
Oh, they were good. But I think they were bought in.
Yeah, probably. And they probably were frozen and just like invented by someone else. And what else is good? I don't know. Oh, they give you that. They give you that garlic bread at Bellinate, which is kind of nice.
DLP Mickey waffles are good.
Yeah,
the Mickey waffles are okay. Lucky Nugget's pretty decent. The Sheriff menu.
The Christmas meal in 2019 at Lucky Nugget was really nice.
Yeah, that was nice. Yeah. Also,
the Sheriff menu, we like the Sheriff menu. We're big fans of that. Yeah.
I don't like the Sheriff menu.
I miss stuffing my face at Plaza Gardens, which, Plaza Gardens is not particularly like the most innovative or inventive food, but it's all you can eat. I mean, outside of COVID times, it's all you can eat, and you just, spend 3 hours there and just eat. And
I miss the Hunter's Grill.
Oh,
that's probably one of my favorite.
They had the raclette.
Yes.
And the Elliot, was that your dad or your mom? Or your brother?
I think it's my brother.
Okay. Because we can see each other, it makes our interactions better, and so someone opened the door at Elliot's.
I remember our little evenings at Hunter's Grill. We had good times. That became our little tradition towards the end there.
Yeah. Yeah, well, now it's not opening until October 23rd, but perfect timing for winter season. We can go there and have the raclette.
Yes, I will book a table.
On the app?
Yeah. I quite like... There's a few places I quite like. Agrabah is actually really good. The food in Agrabah is nice. And I had a good meal in July at Captain Jack's. That was kind of nice.
Yeah, Captain Jack's can be good. I feel like Captain Jack's really depends on who your waiter is.
Yeah, maybe.
I've had some great experiences with really good waiters, and the food came fast, and they were friendly, and they were great. And then sometimes I'm at a table where like no one comes for the first 30 minutes, and you're like,
Well, we had a pretty poor waiter about a year ago at Ratatouille, right? And the meal was okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
When she was like, she sort of got her iPad, just went, "What do you want?"
Yeah. Yeah. Ratatouille is kind of fun too. I've had like hit and miss with steaks. I've had some really good steaks, and also have had some really shit steaks. But
I quite like table service these days. I think it's actually getting a lot nicer.
Yeah,
I miss Waltz.
I just feel like they need to be a bit more mindful of guests who might want to make the most of their day, because if you do put a table service in the middle of your day for lunch, you are going to be in there for 3 hours. And, we go often. I don't mind being there from like 12 to 3. But if you go in for like 2 or 3 days and you have several table service, and every day you waste 3 hours being in a table service restaurant, it might not be the best. The people might not be really happy about that. In the US, I feel like that's also American service. They're much more on top of it. So if you want your things right away, you can tell them and it'll come right away.
I think, but at the same time, I have had meals that go the other way, in that they rushed me through 3 courses in 45 minutes. Silver Spur, hi.
Yeah.
It was not
Silver
nice.
Spur was nice, yeah.
Oh, I got rushed through in 45 minutes, 3 courses, and I sort of left and I went, I spent €30 and I feel like I've just injected basically a whole meal.
Yeah.
It's almost like they're ramming it down my throat.
A wide array of experiences in those restaurants. It's kind of interesting how they can't have like consistency.
Yeah. Should we talk about how Waltz was blurred out on the Teofan broadcast for New Year's Eve? That's a
I think they thought it was a brand. I think they did. I think they thought it was a brand because I think maybe they're not very experienced in like Disney brands or whatever. But
that old Walt Disney.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like maybe they thought it was a brand. I don't know. Something that was really good is it was originally part of the cast member Christmas show, but then we got to see it on Christmas Eve. Was this lovely little 8-minute show on Main Street? It was
so classic.
It was nothing extraordinary, but it was just so lovely. The songs were cute, the staging was great, the filming was great, the lighting was great. There was some snow, and you can tell that the performers were so happy to be there because, Mickey, Minnie, and their friends were also stuck at home during the pandemic, so they were very happy to be out in the parks, and it was just really nice, really lovely show. And I think it should become a yearly thing, even when the parks are open. Like they should produce some kind of 8-minute Christmas show for all their social media and for TVs and even for ads or something, because it was really lovely. I think everyone really loved it. Yeah,
I loved it as well. I remember like taking screenshots to post, and there's like the one bit where they're like running around the fountain at Plaza Gardens, and I was like, I can't use any of these pictures because the social distancing markers are on the ground.
Yeah. Well, everything is still there, isn't it? But yeah, Santa
still looking in fine shape. Those distancing markers too. They're sticking around.
And they brought out Clarice in her cute little pastry costume from the parade, and Donald and Daisy, and it was really nice.
Yeah,
very cool. Cute little production. So it's funny, like I feel like Disneyland Paris really strives in adversity. I know I've said it on probably the last show, but whenever there's tough times, they always come up with those amazing ideas. It's just like when they're coasting through and everything is normal, they sometimes just tend to become just standard. But it's like the week before they're closing in March, like they brought up all these cool new ideas, and then like we've been closed forever, and they made this cute little show. Like, what was this before?
Weird on that front.
Yeah, hopefully they do it again. But it'd be interesting to see what they do for the reopening in April, if they open it in April. Is this going to be as big? Is it going to be... what I'm really hoping is, because now it's April, and it's going to be Easter weekend, I would love to see the eggs back. The character eggs.
That would be nice.
And they used to be... Well, they've been at several spots. I think they've been only out like 2 or 3 seasons. And there used to be some in Discoveryland, like the Stitch one, and there was some in Fantasyland. There was the Hook and Smee ones that were on a little boat on the canals. There was the Cheshire Cat. There were like Chip and Dale and all that, and they were sprinkled around the park. That was really nice. And they could also bring out some of the Swing into Spring stuff, like the topiaries. There's like the Tinkerbell one. There's
Simba, Aristocats.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on how many of these still exist.
The Simba one has been left outside, I think, near Frontierland Theatre since the first Jungle Festival. So.
Oh, of course, yeah, they used it for that. I forgot about that.
That one has probably like gone through the dishwasher also like a million times now. It's gonna look like they would probably have to change the flowers, but maybe, yeah.
I like Swing into Spring.
Yeah, and they could bring back, they have like those. They have those characters made out of wire that have the umbrellas. They kind of like Mary Poppins-ish that they put in Town Square.
Oh, they were Mary Poppins. Yeah.
They were Mary Poppins. Yeah.
It was Mary and Bert and Michael and Jane.
Yeah, and also the penguins were singing around the gazebo. Oh, gazebo! We haven't talked about the gazebo.
Yes.
We're we're getting a new gazebo.
Yay! It'll look exactly like the old one.
Yeah, well, apparently there might be a few tweaks, but it'll be
LED
generally...
lights in it.
Really?
I don't know. I'm
Maybe.
just joking. That would be cool.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's going to need to have lights on it because that thing hasn't had lights on it forever, but it used to, right?
Yeah, it did, yeah.
It hasn't had them since the 25th anniversary when they covered it in tinfoil.
Oh my gosh.
Remember that?
When it wore that tinfoil hat for a whole year.
Yeah, and then they removed the tinfoil so originally they put the tinfoil because the roof was in such bad state and it was going to get replaced, and then the anniversary ended and it was still not being replaced, so they just removed the tinfoil, and since then we've had that shit roof.
Didn't they actually lift it out one night just to put it back? I remember that.
I think so, right? Yeah, there was something. There was definitely something, and then it was just back. And
I remember because when they brought it up, we were like, oh my gosh, they're finally doing it. And then just a couple of days later, it was back. I was like, what?
Yeah, I don't know. But this time it's actually really happening. There's a giant tent around it, and they're working on it inside. And, everyone was like, oh, they put a tent so that DLP Report doesn't see it. No, it's for the weather, I think. But it's in there.
Big tent.
They're like, oh my gosh, that guy's got a plane now.
I know. Well, the plane. It's it's been an adventure, that plane, because it's always a bit. I think in Disney World they're quite used to it. Is what's his name? Bioreconstruct. Always flies around, and some of their fan accounts, it's really easy, I think, over there to hire helicopters or plane and take a tour of Disney World. So if you have the right camera, you're going to be capturing a lot of photos. But in Paris,
it's the same in Anaheim, actually. There's a lot of helicopter pictures. I was looking last week to see if they did the Tomorrowland entrance. Nope.
Yeah. No. Okay. Yeah. But in Paris, I think they're just not used to it, and because there's so many projects ongoing, obviously it's a bit of a bummer for them. But Panorama Magique is going to reopen, and then everyone is going to go there with their giant cameras, and you're high enough to see.
But I don't think you will see much because they can just top it out.
Avengers
Campus.
And you'll see the lake.
Yeah, but even at Avengers Campus, there's not really that much to see because once they've done the groundwork, and typically, the pavement's going to be probably the last thing they actually do. A lot of the stuff that's going to happen on Avengers Campus for the next probably 6-7 months once we reopen will just be all inside.
Well, now I guess they're working on the inside of the attractions, right? I guess Iron Man is
inside is always the last thing to be finished. So outside will be almost done, and then the very last thing will be the paving.
Yeah, and
which, by the way, looks amazing in California. They've done a really good job. There's a massive A on the floor.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
I think we're getting an A as well.
Yeah, we are.
I know. Yeah, but it's really cool. The paving looks great.
Well, talking about that, they have started building the roofs of the restaurants. So the restaurants, they really went for them. Jesus, they only kept 3 walls out of the entire structure.
That was weird.
And they gutted everything inside, which is kind of an interesting one because why just bulldoze the whole thing? Anyway,
I think it's a good thing. Because
sure,
it had a weird shape, and if you're going to change it into a quick service, it probably needed it.
Yeah, I mean, sure. But now they've started rebuilding the roof on top of it, and so it's going to be... The restaurants are going to be interesting because I don't know what this Avengers Armory thing is going to be, but I guess that's where all the Avengers have their armors. And tools and shields and stuff. So that's going to be what Blockbuster Cafe, I guess, used to be. And then next door is going to be the Ant-Man Pym restaurant, which is going to have a really cool entrance because it's going to be a giant concrete block of an entrance. So Pym is going to be written up in the concrete. It's going to be walking into a bunker. So it's going to be a bunker look, feel.
It's actually the thing I'm most excited for.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be really cool.
And the concept for California, which is for inside, which is the only thing that we've seen, they were those pretzels on this travelator on the ceiling and all sorts of like oversized things. I don't know. It's gonna be
It's
interesting.
like them tiny burgers and things like that.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting. And Spider-Man, the last time we checked, also was getting covered in tarps and scaffolding, which means that they're protecting it from the weather because probably they have started working on the exterior walls, which a lot of them are like brick, mock-up brick looking, and some concrete with some paints and some like Stark logos and that kind of stuff, which is kind of fun. And then at the Outer Man coaster, they really have prepared the bases for that big giant circular awning that's going to basically cover the entire show building. So that'd be interesting to see when that starts going up.
I think it's going to be really interesting because this year, in theory, as long as Disneyland actually reopens, we'll get our first idea of what this will be like.
Yeah. Which it's going to be a little bit honest. I don't like it because it's like, oh, can you just open all of them at the same time? So we have some sort of like, not even exclusivity, but we can have it at the same time. Now, California is going to have it for an entire year, and well, maybe not an entire year, but okay, well, we don't know. But they're going to have it for some months before us. Actually, it might really shrink if California doesn't reopen until the summer. It would only be 9 months.
I think it'll be somewhere in the region of 6 to 9.
Yeah, but still, why can't we have nice things?
We've got some nice things. We've got the armory. Well,
the armory, and also we have the meet and greet is called Control Room. No, not Control Room. What is it called? Mission Control. Thank you. Yeah, Mission Control, which is where you're gonna go to meet the Avengers and the Avengers. And their friends, I was going to say, but no.
I think it's going to be quite interesting. I'm interested to see what happens to Café de Cascadeur, where that ends up in the whole shebang.
Well, I feel like Café de Cascadeur really fits within the Spider-Man universe because Spider-Man is in New York, and Café de Cascadeur is very I think New York really style.
Cool. I'd like to see maybe the seating expanded because that was always its problem. It could hold about 10 people.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. But I mean, that was also kind of the charm of it, but it needs to have some sort of second
option.
It could have like an outdoor seating area that's got patio heaters or something like that. That would work.
Or even like an enclosed second dining room if you just theme it to something else, like a different style of building that is just connected to the trailer. So you go through the trailer and then you go into another room or something.
As long as the food stays good, because that was a great place to eat.
Yeah. Well, crossing fingers. I don't know. And then, of course, this year, the other big thing for this year is still supposed to be the Art of Marvel. So it looks like it's close to being finished. But when it's going to open, it's funny because today, when they announced the opening date, they announced the time that all the hotels were opening, and they don't even mention Hotel New York. It's just not even on the list. So, don't know.
It has to, I suppose, sustain demand as well, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And
I think they're
Paris
hoping
has a lot of hotels.
Yeah,
we still have.
I think maybe the thing is there's a bit of a gap between when Cheyenne opens, which is July 1st, I think.
Something
is that
like
what
that,
it is?
yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah,
and then Sequoia is October 23rd. And I'm like, okay, well, between July 1st and October 23rd, I feel like there's some room in there in September for late August, early September opening of Hotel New York. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see. Maybe even earlier. Maybe you'll have like some hotel in April and then June and then July. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, like you said, it depends on.
I mean, they'd have to release bookings soon enough.
They would have to release bookings soon enough, yeah. So we'll see.
Well, they've got a whole bunch of people just withheld reservations for it.
Yeah. Who? But like, what do you do? Like, they keep being pushed back. I guess at some point. I mean, I guess some people still have reservations for it.
Yeah.
Remember, there was even like some discounts and stuff if you booked before.
Yeah, you got like a meal plan. You got a
before Christmas 2019 or something. It was like some crazy thing like that, which seems so far away now. So far away. So, yeah, I mean, 2021 is already, only 9 months left because...
9?
Not even. 8.
What?
No, I mean, like, of Disneyland Paris.
Oh, okay.
We're opening April 2nd. So
there's 11.
No, that's what I mean. So 2021 is only going to be 8 months of operations, and we're still hoping that Halloween and Christmas will be fun, and that maybe we can get Automobile, and then we'll get Cars, and maybe Dream Factory, but, it depends. Depends on the prevailing conditions. So it might still be a fun year. I think it's still going to be quite a weird time. Given how everything is moving along much slower than we thought,
Let's hope that our 2022 preview will be a bit more like, this is going to be amazing, guys.
I know, right?
Other than that, there could always be, we're on week 69 of lockdown.
Yeah. 2022 better be like a whole rainbow of new things and fun things, and, we better get our money's worth next year.
No, because we'll still have annual passes. They'll keep getting extended.
I know.
How much longer can we give these people free access?
You said that your pass is now valid for the 30th anniversary.
Yeah, I should be the end of April 2022 now.
Crazy. But did you just renew before the closure?
So my pass started the 1st of March last year.
Huh. Yeah. So just before the closure.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But you haven't really enjoyed it, so it makes sense that now yeah.
But I guess
when we have to pay for a annual pass again, it's gonna be like, oh.
My question about
what do you mean you want?
Be,
what do you mean you want 900 euros?
Yeah, I do have questions about annual passes, and I know this isn't planned for the moment. But at what point? So say we extend the closure beyond April. At what point do Paris pull a California and go, do you know what? Have your money. I don't even care anymore. Just take it. We're gonna sunset this plan because you can't have Avengers Campus for free. Everyone, come on, you can't do that.
Yeah. That's good question. I think for now we're safe, but let's see. I think it's a possibility. I don't know if it would make sense for Paris given the guest demographic and stuff. But maybe that would be a way to sort of purge everyone out and just start a new type of plan and new pricing and just.
I don't think it's about purging, because in Paris we had the purge just before the 25th actually.
Sounds like a horror movie in a Disney park. The Purge annual pass.
Well,
edition.
no, because we had the annual passport where you had a whole bunch of people on either free ones or dirt cheap ones, and they changed it. That's exactly what they're doing in California, and that a lot of people were sort of still on these SoCal passes because they just had been for years, and you could always renew them. This is the perfect opportunity just to go, you know what, you're not having this for $400 a year anymore. Bye-bye. That was a great opportunity to do that. But
yeah.
At what point do they say, you can't have Avengers Campus for free? Come on.
Yeah. I mean, mine is not going to run that far. I think at this point it's going to be something like, I think it's going to run till September, October this year, I think mine. So still be nice. I could probably go for Halloween again on the same pass.
I mean, you're going to renew, so.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna.
It's not I could go for Halloween and then I'm done.
I pay my magic tax every year, no matter how much it is. I guess I'm kind of a sucker that way.
I've got a year in me and then I'm done.
Yeah, no, I'm not that type of guest. So I'll be like, well, of course I'll be back. How much do you want?
It's just every year I show up to the annual pass office and it's I'm not happy about doing this, but here you go.
Yeah. I still have on mine. My photo is still from my previous pass. They were like, "Do you want to keep it?" I'm like, yes, because Axel and his beard is in the background, and also I look younger.
I had that. I sort of went, do you know what? I'm going to go first thing in the morning when the queues are the shortest. I was so tired because I think I got there at midnight the night before. And should we just use the picture from the old one? I was like, yes, please.
I know. Why am I'm hearing some weird noise. Sorry. It's because my iPhone is doing. Hold on, please hold while we. Sorry, thank you.
We can't see him
Oh,
anymore.
there you go. I'm back. Okay, better. Right. So, is there anything else we haven't covered? I mean, it hasn't been like a ton of news, but I feel like we are now up to date for everything that's going to come in 2021. Are we still hoping for? Sorry. Oh yeah, we haven't talked about merchandise.
I mean, there's not much to discuss, but there's a book.
Right. There's a Space Mountain book coming up. So I guess the Space Mountain book is going to come in June. Isn't the Space Mountain anniversary in June?
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a key. I don't know. They can't do the same. They can't do both on the same time because people would literally go insane.
There's also a Nautilus key.
Oh, that is the Nautilus key. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
No, is there a Space Mountain as well? I can't remember.
I feel like there was one planned. Wait, maybe it's been out already. No, maybe not.
I don't know. I've lost count of the keys because they were really cool for the first week of the 25th.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, oh, there's a new key. But it was a good thing because you had the set and it was nice, and now it's not.
I have the set of the 5 lands, and they're really lovely, and I really love them. But basically, thanks. That's it.
Yeah, and they just become crazy like all the other limited edition merchandise where it's just impossible to get them.
Yeah, and also, what do you do with them?
Unlock things.
Yeah, unlock the fun. Mickey 90.
I just walk up to the pass and I'm like, "Can I have your ticket, please?" And you're like, "I got the key. I don't need the top."
Yeah, exactly. And we also had the Euro Disney merchandise that we all went crazy for. Was that in December?
Yeah.
It was in December.
Yeah, I got everything I wanted.
It was fun. Yeah, I got some cups. I got a keychain. It was nice of them because, at some point you're just going to be like, well, we're just going to sell this stuff because clearly we don't know when we're going to reopen and people just want it and you just got to do it, right, at some point. So they did, which was nice. And I think most people got what they wanted.
Yeah, I was quite pleased. I thought it went really well.
And then we all have like fake 92 sweatshirts and t-shirts and stuff.
Rolling up to the reopening.
I will not be wearing it then because everyone else will be wearing it.
Everyone's going to be wearing it.
I want my Insta pics in front of the fake castle. Wearing my fake 92 jersey. But like, do you know what? I was here in 1991 when they were just lifting the thing. Here's the proof.
I know. Well, now it's going to be in front of the tarp for a while, but Oh boy. Well, I hope we can get some more photos of the castle construction soon. We'll see what we can do. But it'll be interesting to see when we come back in April. It's going to be behind the tarps. All right, boys. Should we call it a night?
Yeah,
it's nearly 11 o'clock.
It is nearly 11 o'clock.
I mean,
also known as 10:25. Elliot, it's not nearly.
Also, it's a podcast. It's not nearly 11 o'clock for some people. Some people it'll be past 11 o'clock.
It's not nearly anything because you can listen to it at any time you want. All right. Well, thank you guys for being on this special edition. I think it's like a special edition out of time because we have like another 2.5 months of. I mean, I was going to say lockdown, but closure. Maybe lockdown if you live in the UK. We don't know.
As well.
We don't know yet when we're allowed outside again, but hey, it is what it is. But thank you everyone for listening, and we'll do one of those again, and we need to get Richie and David back on the show as well. So
we should just get like a schedule, even if there's nothing to talk about.
That's true.
Because we'll always find something to talk about.
Mid-January, so we should be back. We should do another one around mid-February, just to keep it going. And
Valentine's special.
Oh, we can have a Valentine's special. Maybe we can get Patrick to come for a quiz, like a Valentine's Day quiz.
Yes.
And everyone can talk about their Valentines, Elliot. His face.
We'll all sit having a meal.
Queen.
All right. Well, thank you so much, guys, and thank you everyone for listening, and thank you for interacting with all of us online, and just I don't want to be cheesy, but keeping the magic alive, or at least keeping the community active during all these times. So
letting the magic shine.
Let the magic shine. All right. Thanks, everyone, and we will see you very soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
La 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 la. Come on, let's all dance together, 'cause that's the best way to show friendship. In rhythm, the whole world's united. Jordan, 'cause the whole world's in fight. Get into the moving, shaking. The memories we are making. Hakuna Matata's my mantra. Oh yeah. And worries that seem like many. You're dancing, you don't have any.